Welcome back to Business Breakfast, and we have more news coming from the aviation sector. Airline operators have raised the concern that some domestic airlines may suspend operations permanently from March next year. This is our focus on the first part of the show. So one of the critical issues that Nigeria grapples with is the increase in the Forex and also the need to broaden tax base, and this is our focus in the second part of the show. Finally, a crude oil price is on Tuesday. Now, to join me on this discourse, I have an aviation expert. He is a captain also in the industry. I have Captain Ayo Obayemi. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you for welcoming.
All right, so let's talk about this whole sector.
Okay.
What do you think as regards this analysis, this projected analysis as regards domestic airlines folding up?
Well, when you think about it in a large scale, one of the basics for operators is that we need to make profit, correct?
Yeah.
And also operation means that we need funds to keep things running. So many of the things that we use actually is based on the dollar. Like crude oil, we buy and sell crude oil in the international market through the dollar. So the increase in the FX will actually increase everything. Then we have spare parts, we have trainings for the pilots, we have checks that has to be done on the aircraft, because trust me, you want to go there. The aviation industry is a highly regulated industry where every aspect of from the pilot to the aircraft that we fly is being checked and being monitored and make sure that it's safe enough to carry an individual from one point to another point without any issue. And to do all these checks and to maintain this aircraft, we have to use Forex, and it's not really available to us. And even if it's available to us, the rate, what we charge for a simple flight is way below the minimum. For instance, if you are going from Lagos to Abuja, as at yesterday, most airlines were charging 90,000, less than the current dollar, because dollar is about 1,000 plus currently, and is less than $1 per passenger. And apart from that, the price for jet A, that's an aviation fuel, has skyrocketed. As of February 2022, we were buying about roughly around 400 Naira to a liter.
Wow.
And as of today, we're talking about 980, and it's not even like a baseline. There's nothing like something steady for us to work with. So today might be something, tomorrow might be something else. So operators are stressed by all these changes consistently. And obviously, if you cannot guarantee the safety of your crew and your pilot, then there is no point in running operations anymore. So it's really a very tough time in the aviation industry right now.
Wow. Now, thank God that you actually mentioned that it's a tough time. I wanted to even ask that, is it totally that the entirety of the aviation sector, or is Forex dependent?
Like I said earlier,
or could there be alternatives, if there be?
For instance, we don't make this aircraft in Nigeria. We don't produce this aircraft in Nigeria, and we do a level of maintenance in this country. But the spare parts, dollar is the international currency that we use to conduct business. The dollar, actually. So now, if that is a major factor in the industry, it needs to be considered. And thinking about it is, if it's fluctuated like as fast as it does, you cannot make that demand. For instance, you want to order a part, like maybe an engine part, and they request $3,000 to do that. Our flights are charged in the local currency. So we take the local currency at whatever rate that is being pegged up, even when is not conducive. They want people to fly and make it affordable to everybody. But we still have to get the part, because without that part, the aircraft will not fly. So we have to get the local currency, go to the bank, change it, then buy the part, then still fix it. And sometimes we have to fly these aircraft to those nations in the world and fix them. So, and the international currency in the world that we use in the aviation industry it's actually dollars. So, and without it, we might not be able to actually function well.
Wow. Now we're approaching the festive season, where we have so much activities, from religious activities to various activities that you could get. Now, how do you think this could affect the economy in general, in terms that flight rate have increased already? Now, to the layman, how can you explain this scenario, and what is the way forward?
If I understand your question correctly, is that based on the increment of the flight of the ticket price,
yes,
right? How will it affect the normal man? I think it will definitely affect people. The air is one of the safest and the fastest way we travel.
Yeah.
And what our duty is to take you from a place, from one place to another place safely. And definitely, for us to do that, we need to make sure that everything that concerns the flight is perfect, like the maintenance, the aircraft, and everything. So definitely, we have to increase the price just to be able to make operations work. Mm-hmm. The fuel price has increased as well. So I'll explain it to any Nigerian citizen that we're all going through hard times, and I feel that effective planning will actually help to navigate that issue. And they should also understand that the operators, they don't increase price because they feel like it. They increase price because everybody has a team that we work with, and we look at all aspects of the industry and what needs to be done, and they regulate, and they have meetings. We have airline owners meetings, and they all look at every factor, including how difficult it is for the normal Nigerian to afford the ticket price. So, and after looking at all this and reviewing everything, they put a price that we feel, and they feel that they can actually make it's convenient for both the operators and both the citizens at that time.
Now, it's more obvious that if there's no government intervention to cushion the effect of what is going on, the adverse effect is really going to be impactful to the typical average Nigerian. What do you think would be the government intervention in this process?
First, I would say that they need to make sure that the dollar is being stabilized, and also I feel that they need to really work on other aspects where they can subsidize some certain things for the airline industry. They also can look into the fact that they make enough provisions and a lifeline for airline operations to operators to be able to work with the occurring conditions that is happening around us, so that this Christmas should be, I think everybody wants to have fun this Christmas, and they want to travel to their homes, their villages and stuff like that. So it can be an incentive that the government can throw, and to make sure that we can navigate the tough season that we are in right now. Wow. So like I said, first and foremost, we need to stabilize the dollar. Then also we need to reduce the dependency and the pressure that we put on the dollars as well. If we reduce the pressure and the dollar can come a little bit down, I think it can help a great deal in the airlines.
But what about in terms of alternative towards the dollar? Is there any alternative that you think that could help? But I mean, we could actually change. There's sometimes I ask questions that why must it always be dollar all the time? Can't we have alternatives in terms of using gold?
I think yes, we could have alternatives, but it's when we talk about this sector, it's a global sector.
Yeah,
it is not isolated to a place like Nigeria. So we need each other globally. So it's just like in the field, like English is a standard, because trust me, think about it. If you are flying from here to maybe Europe, for instance, or London, for instance, you pass through different countries. If you have to speak all the languages in those countries before you pass through, then it will be difficult. So it's more like it's globally accepted, and it's like an unspoken rule that, okay, if we're going to do this, something that is globally accepted. So I think if the world leaders actually can come together and bring an alternative, then I think that would be okay as well. But for now, there's no nation in the world that you go to and you talk about the aviation industry that doesn't have the influence of the dollar, actually, inclusive of Nigeria and every other countries in the world.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for giving us such exposition on the aviation sector. And this is still Business Breakfast, and we have Captain Ayo Obayemi. He is a pilot in the Nigerian aviation sector. And thank you so much for joining us on a quick notice. I will understand that you're very busy.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll go for a quick break, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Thank you.